Hey, it's Mo. I want to thank you for being here. I have not been good about that, about thanking you for spending your time here, and I really should do that because I know I appreciate it when people do that. Um, and today I wanted to talk about a cheek palette that I was not intending to buy. I didn't even know about it actually, but I ran into it in Sephora during the VIB sale, and I swatched it. I walked away, swatched some other stuff, walked back, kept going back to it, and I bought it. And it is from Laura Mercier, and it is packaged like this. It is the Laura Mercier Cheek Canvas Soft Cheek Palette. I hadn't seen the packaging. It was open. It was one of those that's like open and I'm swatching it at Sephora. So I hadn't even seen the packaging. I just knew that for some reason I was drawn to the colors and I liked the look of the highlights. And there's no bronzer in here. It is just blush and 3 highlights, which typically wouldn't be my thing. But there's something about this palette that I have been reaching for and reaching for and reaching for and reaching for. So I've just gotten it out of the box here to show you. And as I said, I've worn this a lot. This is not a first impression. Here is the packaging. Isn't that interesting? Different, really interesting. And as I said, I didn't even see this when I bought it. I bought it for what's inside. So this outer packaging for me was just like a lovely bonus. There's the back of it. It shows you the shades and the shade names. So I'm going to try to get these colors right because the sticker on the back, you know how it's like backwards and it's also upside down. So we're going to see if I can get this right. So we've got Rose Glow, which is a highlighter. Strawberry is a blush. This is Nude Glow over here. Then we've got Fresco, which is a blush, although it's on me it's pretty light. Well, look, I'll do swatches, of course, and try this on. Then Pink Glow and Peach. So those are the 6 colors. They are 3 grams each, which is certainly smaller than a full-size blush would be, but I consider it a decent size. Let's compare it to the Hourglass palettes, for example. Each of the pans in those face palettes is 1.4 grams. I think that's right. So about half the size of these. So these pans, for reference, are about twice the size of the pans in the Hourglass Ambient Lighting face palettes for the holidays, just to give you some reference. So these are the colors. Trying to get you kind of a look at the shimmer there in the highlight without blinding you with the packaging, always a challenge. So that's what it looks like. Lovely mirror. Very nice packaging. So we'll swatch these this direction. We'll do the top row first and then the bottom row. So we start with Rose Glow. These are very soft powders. Strawberry. I should say the highlighters are very soft. The blushes are a bit more, dry is not really the right word, but they have a different feel. So this is Rose Glow. This is Strawberry and Nude Glow here. And to be quite honest, I like the blush colors very much. I mean, they're very much my kind of colors, but it was really the highlighters that got me. And I'm not a huge highlighter person, but I mean, they were just so pretty. I don't know, I just kept going back. So there are the top 3. And you can certainly see the glimmer and shimmer, and I've actually got some sunlight today, which is fantastic. If you haven't watched me before, I only work with natural light, and I've had some cloudy days lately. And then we'll do Fresco, Pink Glow, and Fresh Peach. And as I said, you can feel the difference between the blushes and the highlighters. So this is the nude blush. Ooh, sorry. There's that highlighter, and there's the peach. So as I said, this blush on me, at least a swatch, is quite light. But again, I mean, I love that there's a difference in all 3 of these highlighters. All 3 of them are different. And I think all 3 of them are very pretty. So that's really what, I mean, this is probably what my arm and hand looked like in the store. And I kept gazing at it and like, no, that wasn't even something I came in for, or I wasn't even gonna look at. And it won me over. So there are all the swatches. So pretty. I've been trying lots and lots of makeup this month because obviously the holidays are coming up and I'm trying to show you as many sets as I reasonably can. so you can get an idea of what you may or may not be interested in spending your money on. But no matter what, like I am testing or lip or whatever it is, I am almost always using this palette because it's really versatile. It goes with a lot of looks that I do. For me, the obvious choice would be pink with the pink shimmer because that's just what I gravitate toward. For this, let's do the nude and just see how this shows up. All the colors that I've used are nicely pigmented. They give you a little bit of room to play, meaning that there's enough pigment, but it's not like a huge splotch of color on your face, and they seem to blend very nicely. So this is that nude shade that in the swatch you could hardly see really. So in spite of how that swatched, it does show up on my skin tone, and I often mention this in my videos that I'm somewhere on the border of fair and light. So I think I would put myself as lighter than average. And that's just something to keep in mind whenever I'm doing any kind of color cosmetics. You know, obviously, as with anyone, I only have one skin tone that I'm testing them on. So you have to take that into account. Is there enough depth of color for you? I do appreciate like this. So this nude is very neutral, obviously, that's evident. And then we've got a bright but not overwhelming pink, and the same with the peach. And they're distinctly different colors. You know, it's not like this one basically looks like this one, basically looks like this one. Really, I think they're completely different colors on the cheeks, which is also something I very much appreciate. When I film, I wear normal makeup. I don't wear different foundation or different anything when I'm filming because this is all real life, and it's about what are you going to look like when you walk out of your house and you go do something, you go to work, whatever it is. So the foundation is the foundation I wear. It's foundation put on the way I put it on, which is usually with my fingers. And I think that's worthy of a mention because I try to keep things as close to reality here as I can. These don't match, like you don't have to match these like this blush goes with this highlighter or whatever, but for this purpose again, since that was a nude shade, I'm going to go with this nude glow for my highlight, which actually to me looks more like champagne. And I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt and Glow brush, which works well for me. I have a very small face, so I prefer to use smaller brushes. Ooh, that's, I don't think I've used this highlight. So there it is. I did not put much of that on. And that's just one of the highlighters. And actually, I'm gonna do the swatches again. Not again. I'm gonna double up these swatches on the blushes. I want to double them up so you can see maybe a more accurate representation of what the color might look like, especially for color depth if you have a deeper skin tone than mine. Let's see, you know, like, are they buildable? Could you get some color out of those? I think they are. Like that peach is a great example of how much color they do or do not have. For me, this is just a great little cheek palette. And really the best thing I can tell you about it is how much I have used it. Because to me, that's always the best recommendation, if you want to call it that. But I've used it and used it and used it, and it just keeps making me happy. So I hope that was helpful. That is my only purpose here. I do appreciate you spending time here and hanging out talking makeup. I love this stuff, and I'll talk to you soon.